Joining us now on Good Morning SKN is Clement O'garro, who was recently announced as the new director of the National Carnival. Mr. O'garro, good morning. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, guys. I mean,
Welcome back.
It's becoming familiar now.
Very familiar.
Yeah.
One of our celebrity guests, GMSK, Mr. O'Garro, right here.
So let's dive right into the conversation, Mr. O'garro. What was your reaction like when you were first appointed as the new director? What was the reaction like?
I don't think there was a reaction.
Really?
No, I mean, I've always been involved in Carnival from a very long time. I'm not going to date myself today, but...
Everybody's running from dating themselves.
I know.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
And so I've always been involved in Carnival in many different capacities. I started in the junior calypso competition back in 1973 when it was initiated. It was very successful then, won 4 titles.
Wow.
And still stands as a record today. Somebody tied the record, but nobody broke it.
Broke it just yet.
No. And I've sang in the senior calypso competition. I've recorded, I've judged, I've emceed, I've played mass, I've done everything. So I was happy. That I was put in a position to directly affect the carnival that we're moving to.
Right.
Yes.
And so I guess the reaction was, thankful in a way that I was recognized for what I've done and my contributions, and they think that I can contribute more.
We certainly do.
You mentioned so much, but you forgot to mention that you were the chairman of the National Carnival Committee in 2010, and you were also the public relation officer for Sugar Mass 51, because you was here last year informing us on what was happening.
Absolutely, yeah. And the funny thing about it is that in 2010, when I was chairperson, well, me and Shannon joined the committee in 2009. That's Shannon Harley, the current chairperson. And then in 2010, she was my deputy chair for the National Carnival Committee. So we've always worked together. She took over from me in 2011. And of course, I supported her. And so we've always supported each other because I think that, she's good for Carnival here in St. Kitts. She's good for entertainment.
Is good,
And
so Shannon, there's your flowers, girl. You get this morning.
I know she's busy right now with the music festival, but
I'm sure she'll tune in shortly.
Yes.
But Mr. O'garro, what are some of your roles and responsibilities as the new director?
Basically, I run the Carnival office. I can tell you, back in the day, when I was chairperson and prior to that, and maybe even after, there wasn't really a central location on a regular basis.
Okay.
So leading up to the month for Carnival, we would have, we'll put an office together or whatever it is. Now, the determination is to have a year-round office that probably will eventually end up to be something maybe like an events office where all events are coordinated from that office, such as things like Independence and stuff like that. And so that's basically what I do. It's to coordinate. I mean, everything. I'm kind of like the central point between the vendors, the revelers, the mass makers, the calypsonians, the musicians, and the committee, because the committee is a separate entity. And when I say separate, they operate on their own. I basically coordinate everything. So they direct me to basically perform the functions that need to perform. People need to get paid, then that's my responsibility to make sure. So always a sore topic.
Put yourself out there. Yes.
But so it's a pivotal role.
Yes.
It's a very pivotal role because I mean, you don't necessarily see the Carnival committee members every day,
Nope.
but you'll see me every day.
Yeah,
Yes,
indeed. And the fact that you've dabbled in all of this, do you think it is much easier on you being elected director?
Oh, absolutely. I consider myself to be a carnivalist.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
So I've been to, I've traveled all over the world for Carnival in some places that people don't even think about, like Wally Waichu in Argentina, Barranquilla in Colombia.
Have you been to Brazil?
Yes,
Ooh,
I've been to Rio, I've been to Trinidad, I've been to London, New York, all for Carnival, and of course, stkitts. But I mean, our aim is to make stkittsnevis Carnival
Just as
the eminent carnival in the world. We want to get ranked up in the top level as well. I mean, one of the islands that are closest to us, St. Thomas, they're rated very high when it comes to Carnival. I don't think a lot of people know that, but they have a big Trinidad influence, and so that definitely
what contributes to that.
Yeah, that definitely helps them. I mean, I go back to the days when there was the cool Calypso tent where all the top Calypsonians would be in St. Thomas performing, and guess what? I got an opportunity to be there with them as well.
Nice.
Awesome. So I'm sure, Mr. O'Garro, those folks who are watching, they want to know what are some of your plans as a new director.
Why that laugh?
Can't reveal too much as yet because
I agree.
we have some new members of the committee, and because of everything, I mean, like stkitts has been the buzz for quite a few months now, and a lot of our members are involved in different events, and so one thing I can tell you is that previously, I mean, the carnival calendar in stkitts was had a 2-week window.
Right.
Yes.
Recently, it's been expanded to November, which to me kind of doesn't really make a lot of sense. If I'm not familiar with Carnival in stkitts, and I'm looking at your calendar and I see you have activities from November to January, how do I plan?
Right.
And so we're going back to that 2-week, just over 2-week span. So Carnival this year, the dates are the 15th of December until the 2nd of January. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to have activities prior to.
Right.
We're going to have all the activities that we normally do, the private fetes, the preliminaries for the competitions and stuff like that. Definitely. But that 2-week period is when we're, trying to attract people to come to stkitts, because we'll then have, the Soca Monarch, Calypso Monarch, teenage pageant, Miss the National Carnival Queen pageant,
Nice.
Juve parade of troops and stuff like that. So that's what we're aiming for this year. That's the main plan. The committee is getting together, and we will have a launch pretty soon. So I don't want to,
I can't ask a question, guys. He said he don't. He already let me know.
We're not gonna reveal too much, but there will be some changes this year. And let me look at the camera and say, because every time in 2010 I had to go through this when we changed the carnival to Sugar Mass. We wanted the carnival venue instead of Carnival Village to be the Sugar Mill. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Fifield, who was just here, he was very instrumental in naming the village itself Sugar Mill. Yes. So. And people say, "Nah, you can't change everything." Well, you want to change everything. We're very resistant to change sometimes. But listen, we've seen Carnival, a revolution in Carnival all over, including recently, where some of the islands, including Barbados especially, have gone away from the Soca Monarch competition. What they've done is pretty much have, all the top acts perform. And in that way, they feel as if that, you can spread the money evenly.
Okay.
As opposed to one person winning the big prize.
Okay.
So there's a lot of consideration when it comes to that. Trinidad didn't have a Soca Monarch this year as well for a different reason.
Okay.
But I think based on the conversation I'm hearing, they're probably maybe looking to go in the same direction as well. So, we like trends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are also trendsetters here in stkittsnevis. So there's a lot of things that are under consideration, and in the coming months, you definitely hear a lot from us.
Good stuff. And I want to talk about my favorite show of all time on the calendar, Miss St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Queen. Let's talk about the eligibility at the deadline, which is July 5th. So, ladies, please be ready.
And the
application details, yeah.
The application, of course, you can do that either physically at our office in the E.C. Daniel building right there almost on the corner of Keon and
right next to Sydney, upstairs.
Upstairs, Sydney. There you go. Free plug, Sydney. We've had interest already from some of our young ladies here in St. Kitts, and but you can read up of the terms and conditions that allows you to enter. They're very specific, and as a matter of fact, we are getting ready to send our reigning queen, Shafaya. She goes to Antigua to participate in the Miss JC's.
Bring back that crown, girl.
Yes, and you know where St. Kitts Nevis is very popular there at the JC's show. So I know there's a lot of work been put in. So I mean, this is an encouragement to our young ladies, and I don't know, this year, as I said, there will be some changes. So because yes, money is a motivator, but I think too that we need to do more to develop our young people.
Indeed.
And education is always a good way to go. And so that is something that we'll probably be looking at, maybe scholarships and stuff like that, so that these young people can get an opportunity not only to look good, be beautiful, but impact others as well. With education, and I think that definitely is needed here right now in St. Kitts Nevis.
You mentioned the criteria. Where can we find the criteria? Do we go online?
It's on stkncarnival.com.
Okay.
You can find it there, or if you're willing to scroll through a million posts on our Facebook page as well. But stkncarnival.com is the place to go. You can also register there. It requires 3 photos, and it describes the type of photos that we need as well. So we're making an early start this year.
Yes.
I mean, as you guys know, we had a change in minister of Carnival last year, and so nothing really got started until the end of September, early October. And I thought we pull off a great show still,
I must say.
last year. So we're planning for even better this year.
Awesome.
Indeed.
Mr. O'Garro, earlier you mentioned that you'll be scaling back a bit with the gap from November now to the 15th.
We're not scaling back the activities.
Well, you're putting everything together, but it's no longer that month and a half or 2 months.
Yeah.
So we won't let you leave.
He looks like, what are they going to ask me now?
We won't let you leave unless you share with the audience or if you're in public. What are some of the new and exciting additions that you will be adding to this year's carnival?
I'll be honest with you.
Yes, please.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Can't tell us.
But the committee, as I said, there we have quite a new set of members. We have somebody new taking over. Calypso. I'm going a little bit far now. Pageants as well. So I'm giving the guys the opportunity to come forward with their plan. Of course, I'll interject as well.
Okay.
But we're definitely, planning for some changes. We've been getting a lot of great ideas from the public. That's the reason why I don't stay at home sometimes, even though I get burned out and I'm tired, because I wear a couple of hats. Let's put it that way.
Plenty hats. So we understand.
Yes, and finally, Mr. O'Garro, for those of our nationals in the diaspora, that's your camera right there. Tell them why they should come on down to St. Kitts for the 2024 Carnival.
Because Carnival or Sugar Mass in St. Kitts is the best. We were saying best small island carnival, but not anymore. We're the best carnival, of course. We have great great airlift to get you here.
Yep.
As you know, for just in time for Carnival this year, JetBlue starts their 3 days, 3 days to St. Kitts, and that's all year round.
Yep.
American Airlines, of course. And I'm smiling because I just saw a message that the flight out of DC got canceled this morning. So some folks, not going to be too happy. This is music festival right now, so I don't know. I had a couple of people who, missed their flight or whatever it is. But
it works out.
Correct. But that's the reason for coming is we have this two-tone festival. I mean, you come home, you can spend Christmas and New Year's with your family, and then you can revel in the streets of Bastia. Nowhere else it's like that. Where I consider our carnival to be the first of the year, because we go until January 2nd, and the last of the year because we start in December.
So
the
first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Exactly. So, and we normally we have a lot of fun. Right now, we're seeing a lot of people coming from the different islands, and not just the islands that are around us, but Antigua, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenada. People are coming to play mass. As you see, Jab is huge here now.
So this summer's gonna look like.
And so we're encouraging everybody to come on down into Caribbean. If you get to Barbados, we can bring it on to St. Kitts. They now realize that, of course, they need a bigger airplane to come to St. Kitts. Exactly. So, hey, listen, there's nothing like Sugar Mass.
I agree.
And of course, St. Kitts people love to be on the road jamming. I know last year we changed the route for the parade, and we got a lot of good reviews from it because people were happy that they had an extended jam. And it's funny, they ask for the extended jam, you give it to them, and then they say, "Oh my God, I'm tired."
So you guys have to review that part this year too? I hope not.
No, we're sticking to the long route.
Okay.
Even if the roads changes.
Okay.
We're sticking to the long route. And one of the reasons for that, as you can tell, the trucks are getting bigger and higher with the equipment, and all this twisting and turning in Bastia is not good.
Yeah.
It's not good at all. One of the other things as well too, in looking at St. Martin, St. Thomas Carnival, Aruba's Carnival, they have these trucks that are made for the road, where they're not as high. And so we're very expensive, of course, but we're, looking into stuff like that to kind of regulate what we do, because I have this fear I have this fear of these trucks. You know, these big trucks, the equipment to get in a lot bigger because everybody, I mean, you know, they want Snevis and Stacia to hear them, you know. So, but these are things that we're definitely considering. Everything's not going to happen this year because it costs a lot of money. But I think our minister, Samuel Duggins, he's, you know, he's behind this. As you know, he's been in the entertainment world as well, so he has a pretty good understanding of, you know, what where we're looking for, and he has his own ideas as well. And of course, you know, Shannon is eminent when it comes to entertainment and stuff like that. That's where we're gonna go party for the next 3 days at Express Events.
So can I put my slogan in now? Sugar Mass 52, come and party. It will be an excitement for me, you, and you. Can I win now?
It's recorded. So actually, we're in the process of selecting our slogan right now. We've had tons and tons and tons and tons of entries. So
well, I hope mine make the cut.
And it's a $500 you know, fee, and you know, we get
a nice little price.
We get to mention
Mr.
you.
O'Garro, that could do something.
Exactly. You can buy all your tickets for the shows.
Exactly. You're taking it all back.
Mr. O'Garro, I want to thank you so much for coming in this morning and speak with us.
As usual.
You know, flies when we're discussing fun.
Yeah, one of my favorite studio.
Yes, and you should come back again because you know you're always welcome. You're one of our favorite guests.
I will. I mean, of course, you know, there's always something happening, and see, that's the reason why I'm back in St. Kitts.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for coming back and contributing to ensure that the Federation goes higher and higher.
I've given enough to Trump.
Lord, Andre.
I know. Mr. O'Garro. No other. Mr. O'Garro. There you have it, folks. Our new Carnival director, Clement O'garro. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good Morning SKN continues right after this.